Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to News9 Live. I'm Kabir Naqvi. Joining me here in the studio is our legal editor, of course, Ashok Bagria. And Ashok, HC has cleared the Gyanvapi survey. That's the latest that's coming in. In terms of what's happening in the court, we're also looking at the second day of the Article 370 hearing that's going to take place in the Supreme Court. But in the Allahabad High Court, that verdict is out. It has upheld the 21st July order of the District Court, which says the ASI can go on with this particular survey in the Gyanvapi mosque premises. Now, the Allahabad High Court has dismissed petitions of the Masjid Committee. The Allahabad High Court has dismissed in particularity the Anjuman Intizamiya Masjid Committee's challenge to the Varanasi district judge's July 21st order that the ASI can conduct the survey inside the Gyanvapi mosque premises. Vishnu Shankar, who's appearing for the Hindu side, now it's a proper Hindu side and a Muslim side, that's how all media channels are putting it out. District Court का order आज से प्रभावी हो गया. Structure image होने के तर्क को कोर्ट ने खारिज कर दिया. Do throw some light on that as well, Ashok. And the Muslim Paksh, now they're going to move the Supreme Court, which is another important development, because very smartly what I have been seeing for the longest time is that the ASI was conducting that particular survey, and within an hour the Muslim side was able to stop that survey. That got postponed. The Supreme Court heard it as an SLP on Monday. All of that happened. So the Muslim side is also, they know how to play their cards right. But right now, first and foremost, what are you thinking? What are you picking up from the the verdict?
Yeah, you're right that this verdict came in at around 10 a.m. in the morning today. It was delivered by the Allahabad High Court Chief Justice Pritinkar Divakar, and he basically dismissed the challenge of the Masjid Committee to the District Court's order, which had said that an ASI scientific survey should be carried out at the Gyanvapi mosque site, and basically this survey was ordered on the plea of 5 Hindu women who had approached the court saying that they have a right to worship here, and they believe that this particular Gyanvapi mosque has been built over the structure of a pre-existing Hindu temple. Now, this is where the matters stand at the moment. But as far as the Allahabad High Court is concerned, the Allahabad High Court has put out some riders also. It is said that, firstly, while dismissing the application of the Muslim sides, it said firstly, this kind of a survey is essential or necessary because they want to discover the truth around the issue, number one. Number two, the court said that we are also convinced by the affidavit which has been put out by Archaeological Survey of India, which clearly said that initially they will be carrying out measurements, photographs and radar imaging of the site. Thereafter, if any digging or excavation work has to take place, they will again approach the court and then carry out the digging and excavation work. So possibly the High Court seems to have been impressed with this argument that at the moment there is no digging and excavation work which is going on, and there is no danger to the structure that exists at the site. So they believe, the High Court believes that nothing will be done to the structure and the ends of justice will be met, and that's why they have given the green signal to the ASI survey.
Which is what happened on the previous time as well, when Tushar Mehta called up the ASI. They said, are you removing any bricks? And he told the Supreme Court that not a single brick is going to be removed. We're only going to carry out photographic, survey of the entire area.
Well, that is the statement made by the Archaeological Survey of India and the Supreme Court. Now, what had happened was that was the first day of the survey, and the Supreme Court at that point in time wanted to know that what kind of a survey work will take place at the Gyanvapi mosque site, because there was no clarity. They had just said ASI should go and carry out scientific survey, and we had seen images beamed on the television screens showing that how
30 people in that area,
people from the Archaeological Survey of India had congregated to that site carrying various instruments, and there was an apprehension which was expressed by the Muslim side saying that there will be excavation work which will be carried out, and once the excavation or digging work gets carried out, there is a danger that this structure, which is more than 1,000 years old, that is what the Muslim side claims, could be damaged or could come tumbling down. And then the Supreme Court had said that, okay, we are not going to go into the merits of the case. We will ask this Archaeological Survey of India to just put a halt on their survey activity which they are doing. In the meantime, what the Muslim side can do is could approach the Allahabad High Court, which is the correct appellate forum, and argue the matter in the Allahabad High Court.
It almost felt like the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice of India saying that we've got a lot of other work to do also here. So how about you finish this off with the Allahabad High Court? You've got some time with you. Take it there. Until then, status quo has to be maintained.
Yeah, it has to be maintained. But what is interesting, Kabir, here is the fact that this matter was taken up on priority by the Allahabad High Court the day they got the Supreme Court order. The very next day, the Allahabad High Court started carrying out hearing in this matter, and they heard both the Hindu sides and the Muslim sides, and the Muslim side's basic argument in this particular case was that, number one, that there is a basic law, the Places of Worship Act 1991,
right,
which says that all religious structures which exist in this country will maintain their existence, and there will be no change which will be brought into it. They had said that until and unless this particular hurdle is crossed by the Hindu sides, if the because there is a law in place which forbids or which prohibits any change in the character of a structure which exhibited which existed as on 15th August 1947. So they said that they have not been able to show that how will they overcome this law. The second thing they said is that these women, these 5 women who have approached the district court and filed a suit claiming that this Gyanvapi mosque has come up on a pre-existing structure of temple, they have not been able to give any evidence. So far what they have said is just oral evidence. But at that point in time, the district judge Varanasi said, look, what they are asking for is that if ASI survey is carried out at this site, there will be more evidence which will be forthcoming. And I don't think that
basically their lack of agency for providing evidence in front of the court is where the ASI comes in. I understand. And you know what, we'll talk a little bit more about what the Muslim side can now do, because Asaduddin Owaisi at the parliament also spoke exactly about the Places of Worship Act. And when we're talking about Hindu side and Muslim side, how can you not take into account somebody like Asaduddin Owaisi who said ki sab jagah khudwa denge kya aap? Then I mean, will you start digging up every place? And I understand why the Muslim side also did not want this, or the Supreme Court wanted to know what kind of excavation was taking place, because any kind of digging is as good as the temple, is as good as the structure coming down in its own sense. The image or the the view, the perspective that comes out is that ki ho gaya, gir gayi, masjid gir gayi.